Right now, this is what the wiper arm is doing, so there's a lot of free movement. You don't see that on the driver's side. That's nice and tight. And then you look at this link, and there's a bit of slop in it, so I'm going to need to replace the bushing right in this area here. I'm not claiming this to be a professional paint job, but it's much better than the faded piece that we've had before. Today I'm going to address this faded cowl on my Nissan Xterra. This is a common finding on the aging Pathfinders, Xterras, Frontiers, Titans, Armadas, and some other Nissan vehicles. So we're going to attempt to restore the plastic piece to its former glory. One of the reasons I am painting the cowl, I am removing the wiper arms. My passenger one has a loose bushing, so I'm going to tear into that and see if I can replace the bushing. Right now, this is what the wiper arm is doing, so there's a lot of free movement. You don't see that on the driver's side. That's nice and tight, so you're gonna have to open it up and make sure that the teeth are not stripped. When working on your cowl, your windshield wipers, might be a good idea to protect the finish, possibly your windshield. I'm just gonna lay a towel over the paint here. Okay, that came off pretty easily. The arms are in pretty good condition, so I don't think I'll be painting those. Came off pretty easily also. So the teeth are looking pretty good, so it's likely not the wiper arm issue, but more of an internal issue. One of the bushings is probably worn. And if you don't have a 7mm wrench, you may just use an adjustable wrench or some pliers to remove the antenna. Wouldn't say that it readily wants to come off, but there's a rubber piece here and it seals it pretty well, so you just gotta pull on it. So that is all for the work on top here. Both wiper arms have been removed, the antenna has been removed, so we're ready to pop the hood and get to that lower seal. Okay, so once the hood is open, we are going to remove some of the clips here that are holding our cowl down. Better to do this in warm temperature. As long as the temps are above 60, the plastic should be good and pliable. Otherwise, you're risking breaking those plastic tabs. So, of course, this piece is going to get some 303 treatment, some protection, so it's staying soft and pliable. Be mindful that the windshield wiper hoses are still attached, so be careful when you are pulling the cowl up. Just gonna gently give it a nice little tug to pop some of the plastic tabs. Gently pull off the windshield wiper hoses. To avoid damaging the hoses, mine are pretty tight, and I'm afraid if I pull on them hard, I'm going to rip them. I'm just going to remove these screws here, the mounting points. Hopefully that will free them up. Yes, they are free now. Now we can remove the whole thing. Luckily, I don't have a a lot of grossness inside here, but it's a good idea to vacuum this area if you have fallen leaves. I'll probably go ahead and vacuum that up before the reinstallation. So when you check your windshield washer transmission here, I noticed that, okay, this link is for the driver's side from the motor, and that's nice and snug. And then you look at this link, and there's a bit of slop in it, so I'm going to need to replace the bushing right in this area here. So that way I don't have a droopy driver's side wiper arm. Okay, in order to remove the windshield wiper motor and the transmission or the mechanism here, I'm going to disconnect the harness. The next thing is we're going to just pull the harness here, a little tab. All right, and then we're going to remove a couple of nuts to remove the entire assembly. So we're going to remove this nut over here, then this one, and last but not least, we're going to come around on the other side and remove this one. There's a ground wire that's attached to the washer right under this bolt. All right, I just need to remember to put everything together the same way. I am so grateful that I installed these hood struts on the Xterra, so now I can reach to the back of the engine compartment without any trouble. The hood opens nice and wide. If you're willing to spend about 40 bucks, go ahead and watch my video on installation of the hood struts. Okay, so now the entire assembly has been loosened, so it's ready to come out. You want to make sure you go nice and gentle here. You do not want to hit your windshield. There it is, she's out. So the reason for the strange behavior of the passenger side wiper arm is the rubber bushing. You can see how much travel there is here. There was a bushing here that just got deteriorated. This one is intact. You can see that's not, there's a little bit of play with it, but I suppose the main thing is this is why the arm is moving, so we need to replace this bushing over here. Not sure if it comes as an assembly or, you know, I may have to replace the entire control arm here. Stay tuned. All right, so here's the driver's side link, and this is the passenger side link. You can see how much movement there is here. The driver's side is tight, so we need to replace the bushing here. So we just need to get a new one of these. Maybe shoot some grease in here, clean it up. She should be as good as new. So I purchased a set of sort of universal GM/Nissan linkage bushings. So these cost about $10.99 at the local auto parts store. So let's clean this up and see if we can get it to work. As I'm cleaning this up, there's a piece here that is probably part of the bushing that broke off. So I'm going to inspect it. There's a lot of rubber bushing that runs here. Need to clean things up a bit and put a little bit of grease on it. I originally thought that these were all various sizes, but they appear to be all the same size, so I wonder if this will still work for me. We're gonna find out. Right, so after a little bit of persuasion, I do have the bushing installed onto the linkage. So now we just need to snap this on here. And before we do that, I've mangled it a little bit with pliers. I need to put a little grease on this ball. Now this is probably a little bit of an overkill, but I just picked up this tube of grease from Harbor Freight, I believe, so we're going to use a little bit of that. Once it's all lubed up, hopefully this will snap on. There we go. And no more movement. Look at that. This is snug. This is tight. We're good. Before we install the windshield wiper motor in assembly, I gave it a quick little wipe down. It was a little dusty in there. It hasn't been clean in probably 17 years. So now I feel good about installing everything back in. It's nice and clean. Install the harness, plug in. There's no movement whatsoever. This is good. So before we put everything together, let's test it out. Looks like she's working pretty smooth. Okay, ready for final installation. Everything buttoned up, and then we'll test it out with the wipers on. Don't forget about these corner pieces. There's a little retainer that you use to pop this little corner piece out, because this needs to be refinished also. Same thing on the driver's side, a little corner piece. This will need to be refinished, so we just use a little plastic tab pop-off tool to remove that. So this is what that piece looks like. You have to pull it from the bottom. Pops right off. And then this corner piece is free. Well, almost free. Seems like it's still being held by something here. Open the upper channel. There we go. So that corner piece is out now. Okay, I guess that's how you remove that one. Okay, so when we install everything back, the corner pieces are going in first, and then the main cowl goes on. And here's our refinished piece going back in, looking pretty good. I'm not claiming this to be a professional paint job, but it's much better than the faded piece that we've had before. Now we're going to reconnect windshield washer hoses. Make sure that these are lined up properly. These are facing the windshield. Snap it on. Next is installation of the weather stripping. These are Christmas tree type of clips. Can be a little stubborn sometimes. Okay, everything under the hood is installed. I'm gonna go ahead and close the hood and install the wiper arms. Before installing wiper arms, make sure you clean up the teeth on the stems. Here is the driver's side. And the torque on these wiper arm nuts is 17 foot-pounds. Not a lot of torque on that. Here comes the driver's side. Well, it's a little early to throw in the towel, but we want to protect the painted surfaces here. Again, these are 17 foot-pounds, so we're gonna torque it up properly. 17 foot-pounds.